Hey everyone, Brandon back, and it's time for more episodes of SexxxPerTease. Today's episode is monogamy bad? Is it bad for relationships? We are living in a time where it does feel like monogamy isn't really, I guess, as valued as it has been in the past. But then again, in the past, monogamy is kind of pretty much the only option for relationships. Like, in terms of like marriage or like longevity in relationships, you basically were like someone's property. I guess in the beginning when marriage was formed, when women were treated as their father's property, then their husband's property, and they're supposed to be loyal and faithful to that person, even though it's like in movies you always see like the wives are always getting cheated on and like guys having affairs and side families and everything. So monogamy is complicated because have people ever always been faithful? Of course some people are faithful and some people are monogamous, and then some people always end up cheating or cheated on. So it's like, clearly it's not monogamy if you're already breaking the vow and you're hooking up with other people. But it also feels like people like want to be free to go cheat and have sex with other people, but they want their partner to be loyal and faithful to them, which is really selfish to me. And like, I don't think it doesn't make any sense, because I feel like if you want to go have sex with other people, then your partner should be free to do the same thing. It's like, you shouldn't just be allowed to go cheat on someone and they're faithful to you. Like, that's pathetic and sad. And like, especially for people that do choose, like, that know they're being cheated on and know that their partner's not being faithful and treating them as shit, and then they're still gonna be faithful and loyal to them. I guess it's a self-esteem issue, and people have issues, I guess, are afraid of being alone and are willing to put up with certain things they know are wrong just because they don't want to be alone. But I don't think monogamy is bad. I don't think there's anything wrong with being monogamous. I prefer monogamy. I did cheat once in my only relationship, but it wasn't because I think I'm incapable of being monogamous. I think it's because I wasn't being treated well by my partner. And then again, like, I learned from that mistake and I never cheated again, and I was always faithful. So I feel like it's completely possible, like, one mistake, especially when you feel like there are other issues at hand and not just that you're incapable of being monogamous, because I feel like monogamy boils down to sex and sexual proclivity and like what type of sex you like. Some couples are faithful for each other, but then they like will sometimes have threesomes or like swinger stuff. So it's like, if you're only doing stuff with your partner, is that not monogamy or is it monogamous? Like, some people like to have threesomes. Some people like to have extra people in the bedroom. It's not a problem. It doesn't hurt your relationship that you have with your partner. I think that's another thing lots of people get confused about open relationships. Like, they suddenly think it's like, well, if we're an open relationship, you're out seeing other people, so you're not spending all your time with me and whatnot. And it's like, you can still spend all your time with your partner. You come home to them, you cook dinner together, you like wake up together in the morning, you like shower together in the morning before you go to work. It's like, just sometimes you may have sex with other people. It's not like an open relationship means that your bond with your partner is lessened. It's just, you honestly have to have way more trust and security in your relationship to be comfortable with your partner out having sex with other people. And I do think a big issue with open relationships is that if you think that you are letting your partner have freedom to go out and be with other people, they're obviously going to like fall in love with someone else and they're gonna leave you. So there's always a fear. It's like you're just leaving the door open for yourself to be left alone and cheated on. And I feel like that's not fair or always accurate. It's always a possibility, but then again, it's always a possibility your partner's gonna dump you and leave for someone else, even if you're monogamous. Like, people cheat, people lie, people still find ways to live double lives, even if you think that you know everything about the person you're with, and they still find ways to get around destroying your trust and faith in them. So I don't think monogamy is bad. If you want a monogamous relationship, I think it should be pretty easy to find one. I feel like many people still prefer monogamy over being open, even though I do feel like I've seen some studies that say open relationships are more common now among gay relationships, but I also feel like all these people that are monogamous, someone's always like cheating or acting wild and crazy, so I feel like you might as well just be open. I'd rather be in an open relationship than being cheated on. Like, I don't think monogamy is bad, because ideally, I think I would want monogamy, because I feel like I'm that type of person that like I can be clingy in a relationship. Like, I want my partner to be with me all the time. We're like calling each other all throughout the day, always texting, always know like where they are, what they're up to. They know where I am and what I'm up to. We have like trust and communication and whatnot. And I feel like if I was open, I would be paranoid. It's like you don't think it would be a good feeling to know like, oh wow, my partner's out with someone else and I'm here alone by myself. And it's also like you don't want to feel obligated like, oh well, they're out hooking up with someone, I need to go hook up with someone too. Like, I feel like that's not ideally what I want in a relationship, but I feel like I'm open to exploring parameters and what works and what doesn't work. I'm not totally against being open, but I think ideally I would prefer a monogamous relationship. And I feel like monogamy isn't bad for relationships because every relationship, whether you're monogamous or open, you need to be loyal, faithful, have trust, and like those qualities don't just boil down between are you only having sex with me or you're not. Like, it's about, can you trust this person with secrets or like personal information, with your passwords, with your life. Like, are they gonna betray you? Like, people, I do think, put too much emphasis on sex, being that sex is the be all end all. Are you faithful to me sexually or not? When it's like there's way more to life than just sex, and like you want a partner that you know that you can trust with your life, like with your personal business, that's always going to be there for you. So it's more than just honesty, loyalty, being faithful to me is more than just, are you only sticking your dick in me or am I only sticking my dick in you? Like, there's way more than that. So I think that's why people get too hung up on the sexual aspects of open relationships, because I feel like you need to know if you can trust and love this person in way more ways than just sexually. But yeah, my answer is I do not think monogamy is bad for relationships. I think it's perfectly fine wanting someone to be with you and only you and the focus of your attention, because I mean, it's hard enough finding one person to love, so continuing to like still have to feel like you're looking for new guys when it's like I have the person I want to be with like right here. But then again, there is always that fear that like one person's never going to be able to complete you or have everything you want in a perfect match, so like people stray and look for that fulfillment elsewhere. But then again, it's like they say you don't want to throw away your 80% for someone that you only have 20% with, so like don't throw away like the love, honesty, trust, and security for some sex, basically. But yeah, I don't think monogamy is bad for relationships, and I think if you're monogamous, that there's nothing perfectly wrong with that. Like, it's okay to want to be a monogamous person looking for someone else that wants to be monogamous. If you are someone that prefers open relationships, there's nothing wrong with that either. You can go out and find someone that you're comfortable being open with. There's so many different types of relationships, and we all have the power to define what type of relationship that we want. So use that power to not settle for a relationship that you know you don't want, and settle for one that you do. Thanks for joining me for more SexxxPerTease.